So I was listening to Job, and the book of Job is a beautiful book that really takes on one of the most difficult things in the Christian walk, the issue of suffering of the innocent, suffering of the poor, and the success of those who do what is wrong, and the like. And Job was a man who feared God, who loved God, and who revered God in all his ways, and a righteous man. And Job was afflicted with some of the most terrible things that can happen. He lost everything: his wealth, his health, and his family. And Job was met by his three friends, two of older and one of a bit younger, not given a specific age. And around 40 chapters of discourse. His friends comment on the situation, some saying that he has sinned, commenting that God doesn't punish those who do right, he punishes those who do evil, so he must have done something evil. And then they go back and forth, and then each take a turn. And then the third one, the younger one, he gives his own speech. And it's just a beautiful book. But what stands out to me was something that I read the other day about the Bible, and people were looking at verses in the Bible that talk about homosexuals and talk about women, and about how things in the Bible. Well, it's not more homosexuals, it's about women. And they were taking these verses to justify that the Bible oppresses women. And they would take these verses and then talk about them. And I just find it funny because I was thinking about the story of Job. So it's in chapter 25, his friend Bildad talk about Job and how God, like I was saying, doesn't punish the wicked and stuff. I think it was chapter 25. If somebody were to take that verse and then extrapolate it, one may say that Job was a wicked man and that God doesn't punish the wicked, and God doesn't punish those who do what is right, and so on and so on. And it is if you were to read that and not read the whole thing of the whole story of Job, you'd be greatly mistaken on the context and the purpose of the writing, and more so what God actually says. So that was interesting because to really understand what the message is, you have to go to the end where God more so approves of two of the friends disapproves of two friends and then approves of the younger in his discourse and his words, and approves of Job's arguing with him, and then God just begins to ask questions. And it's a really funny thing because God just really assures that he is God, and that really he doesn't have to give an answer for anything, because he made all things, he knows all things. But when it comes to the Bible, it's funny how people can take the most masterful, most beautiful book that's ever been written, the most published book of all time, and take this book and take verses out of it, out of context, without considering the whole, and come to conclusions. I think to really understand everything in the Bible, you have to understand who God is. And to understand who God is, you have to read the Bible from a starting point. As God is the creator of the universe. He's omniscient, omnipotent, and he loves us. And he wouldn't do anything that would not be good for us. When you read the Bible and you go through it, and you have an understanding of it, and then you now go back to these verses, and you understand God. It's like taking a verse out of the Bible and using it to represent the Bible. It's similar to taking one word or one phrase or a sentence or a single thing one person said throughout their entire life and using that to represent that person. Because people are not one-dimensional. People are not a sentence. People are the most beautiful thing. We're made in the image of God. So just like people are made in the image of God, God's word is also in His image, and the Bible is not. The Bible is a handbook to get to know about God and to get to know about His character and His love for us and how to overcome our walk in this world. But if we look at the Bible and look at it as like one verse, that's the injustice, and that's truly foolish. So to those of us who want to say, I don't believe in God because of this one thing or this one verse in the Bible, I challenge you to actually read the Bible and get to know God. And then if you get to know Him, you'll understand the things that are in His Word. But one cannot come to understanding if you know it's not which is with it. So that's what I wanted to say.